Welcome to your channel, Generous, Gracious and Gallant. I'm your host, Dr. Mohar M. Ghosh. Today, this is the 400th video on the channel, Generous, Gracious and Gallant. And today, the celebration video will be about an inspirational Indian queen, Baiza Bai Scindia, the Maharani, the favorite queen of Maharaja Daulat Rao Scindia, who ruled from 1794 to 1827 in Gwalior state. She was an outspoken opponent of British colonialism. She was a banker who forced even the Britishers to repay her principal and interest on the loan she gave them. She actively participated in the Revolt of 1857. She is said to have financed the revolt to a large extent. She also sheltered Rani Lakshmibai. She sheltered Tantia Tope, and she sheltered other revolutionaries at the Gwalior fort. She also was regularly scheming against the British colonial masters, and she was very skillful strategist who ensured that the British colonial rulers could not control her or keep her in control. A totally inspirational revolutionary Indian queen, Baiza Bai Scindia. I'll be sharing more about her shortly on the video, but before that, on this celebration of 400th video on the channel, wanted to give you a brief about the channel, Generous, Gracious and Gallant. I started this channel 2 years back, and today on the channel we have got over 1200 subscribers. I thank you all, my dear subscribers, for your support. Thanks to your support, I have been able to reach this milestone of 400 videos on the channel. My mission with which I started was to ensure that the present and coming generations live by the eternal human principles such as honesty, integrity, loyalty, respect for elders, respect for diversity, respect for womanhood. These principles are eternal and do not change over time and place. Living by these principles is the only way forward for a conflict-ridden mankind. Now, towards this mission, I share with you videos on the YouTube channel, but I've also got a Facebook group and a WhatsApp group where I share daily inspiration. The link is in the description. You can join us there also. I request you to subscribe to the channel and make more and more members join our mission of living by eternal human principles. Coming back to our inspirational Indian woman, the Maharani of Gwalior, Baiza Bai Scindia. Baiza Bai was born in Kabul in 1784. Parents were Sundarbai and Sakaram Ghadge Sajirao Deshmukh of Kabul. They were members of the nobility and royalty under the Bhosle Empire of Kolhapur. In February 1798 in Pune, aged 14, Baiza Bai married Daulat Rao Scindia, the ruler of Gwalior, and became his favorite wife. They had several children and one son who died before their own eyes. She was a superb horsewoman and a trained fighter. She also knew how to wield the sword and spear. She accompanied her husband in the Maratha wars against the British and fought against the future Duke of Wellington, Arthur Wellesley, in the Battle of Assaye. She was well versed as a statesman and administrator and was frequently consulted by her husband, Daulat Rao Scindia, on matters of state. She was a smart and sharp strategist. She knew how to handle multiple affairs of state. She frequently opposed some of the decisions of her husband. For example, she did not want her husband to annex Udaipur, the last Rajput kingdom, and she was opposed to this. She was a smart statesman and knew how to plan for the future. Therefore, she appointed several of her relatives to the court of Gwalior. Her father was made the Diwan of Gwalior, and post the defeat of Scindia in the Second Anglo-Maratha War, the treaty ensured her father could no longer play an important role of state as per the treaty, as he was firmly against the British. But here too she ensured that her brother joined in as the Diwan, and the family legacy of opposing the British continued. Baiza Bai was given a jagir of 2 lakh rupees annually, and like I said earlier, her brother Hindu Rao Jai Singh Rao Ghadge was made Diwan of Gwalior. Baiza Bai staunchly opposed the British East India Company and colonialism. She advised her husband to support the Maratha Peshwa Balaji Baji Rao too against the British. When Daulat Rao bent before the British and submitted to their demands, she called him a coward openly, and she left him, accusing him of being a coward. She also opposed the surrender of the state of Ajmer to the British East India Company. She held sway over all important appointments in the Gwalior court, and she favoured those officers who took anti-British stand against the empire. She was a banker, and she supported multiple smaller bankers in their efforts against British traders. When the British traders were undermining the Indian traders, she gave them money to grow their trade and move out the British traders' influence in the trade and sale of opium. In Ujjain, which was the center of Indian finance and banking, she was in firm control. She was so powerful that the British had to ask her for a loan of 8 million rupees, and they planned that they would not return the principal and interest, but she forced them to pay this interest and principal back to her, and she also ensured, because of the interest payments, their influence diminished in North India because they could not keep up with the interest payments. 21st March 1827, when her husband Maharaj Daulat Scindia died, she became the regent as per the wishes expressed by Maharaja Daulat Singh to the British authorities. On 17 June 1827, 11-year-old Mukat Rao from the Maharaja's family was adopted as the heir and given the title of Jankoji Rao Scindia. She opposed this appointment. She wanted someone from her family to be appointed Maharaja, but with the intervention of the family priest and other pressures, someone from the Maharaja's family was appointed as the adopted heir. She suppressed and banned thugs and banned female infanticide. She was much ahead of her time, and she supported women education. Though there were many misunderstandings between her adopted son and her, she remained firmly in control. Her adopted son also met the Governor General, Lord William Bentinck, in 1832 and promised him a part of the revenue, but the Governor General decided not to intervene, seeing the power that the Queen had. 1834, unfortunately, due to multiple other strategic movements going on in the Gwalior kingdom and the British authorities, she lost support of the Scindia army and administration, and she had to flee, and her son Jankoji was crowned king. She went to the British resident Mark Cavendish's residency and encamped there. She was not allowed to enter, but she put her tents in the garden and opposed the crowning of her adopted son. Later life, because Mark Cavendish did not support her, she was forced to flee and she spent the balance of her life in Agra, Mathura, Fatehnagar, Banaras, and Allahabad. She retained with her much of the treasure she carried with her when she fled from Gwalior. The British slowly and steadily tried to take this treasure away from her and ensured that they kept her on a small annuity, but she opposed it and said that this was never enough, and she used her annual pension which she got enhanced to 4 lakhs in 1841 in Nasik to be a thorn in the side of the British Empire. The British Governor General suspected her of being a part of the revolution of Indian Revolt of 1857, where she would provide cover to the revolutionaries and help the revolutionaries pass messages via couriers through her royal chambers. She also bore the expenses of the revolting rulers and supported for the salaries of the Indian soldiers who supported the revolt. Her name figured in the revolt of 1842 of Asirgarh, 1843, when her adopted son, whom she had major misunderstandings with, Jankoji, died. She married her granddaughter to the new ruler Jayaji Rao Scindia, and she returned to live in Scindia territory. Here also, she continued her activities against the British Empire, and she gave shelter to Tantia Tope Rani Lakshmibai and opened her treasure and coffers for the use by the revolutionaries. She was also so powerful that she was given complete control of the city of finances Ujjain, and she lived there from 1847 to 56 and returned to Gwalior in 1856. From Gwalior, like I said earlier, she supported the revolutionaries in the Indian Revolt of 1857. She helped pass messages, she supplied salaries for the revolting soldiers, she supported the revolutionaries with arms and ammunition, she threw open her treasures and coffers for the use by the revolutionaries such as Tantia Tope and Maharani Lakshmibai. She died in Gwalior in 1863. It's not only that she was much ahead of her time in opposing thugs and female infanticide, she was much ahead of her time in overthrowing officers of the British Empire and supporting the revolutionaries. She also gave multiple grants to arts, crafts and religion. 1830, she built a temple in Scindia Ghat. 1828, in Banaras, she built a colonnade around the Gyanvapi temple. She built the Gopal Krishna temple in Ujjain, and in 1850, the reservoir Baiza was built on the grounds of Moti Mahal Palace in Gwalior. A freedom fighter, a thorn on the side of the British Empire, a fighter, a revolutionary in fact, who supported the revolution of 1857 and supported Tantia Tope and Rani Lakshmibai with shelter in Gwalior, a banker, a mighty queen, a strategist, a warrior, a woman with a do or die spirit, who proved to be a thorn to the British authorities as long as she lived. Rani Baiza Bai Scindia of Gwalior. This video is a small effort from my side to revive the memory of this warrior Indian queen. Friends, I will be back soon with another very inspirational video on your favorite channel, Generous, Gracious and Gallant. Till then, I request you, please subscribe to my channel, Generous, Gracious and Gallant. I will be back soon with another video. Till then, good luck, all the best, and congratulations to all of you on the 400th video on your favorite channel, Generous, Gracious and Gallant. Thank you.